this is Dave, and for the next half hour, I'll be reading from the March 2nd issue of the Chautauqua Gazette on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. This piece is by Aaron Mentkowski, a featured writer and chief meteorologist at WKBW-TV ABC Channel 7. Why is March so wacky? The month of March can be very frustrating for Chautauqua County residents. It's truly a weather roller coaster. Take last year, for example. On March 20th, Jamestown had a high temperature of 76 degrees, while the successive dates of March 22nd, 24th, and 25th of 2025 all proceeded to plummet to 16 degrees. That's an unprecedented 60-degree swing within days. But March is always a transition for Chautauqua County as we go from winter to spring. This time of year can be very frustrating as we'll experience sunshine with high in the 70s, followed by temperatures in the teens with snow. We might enjoy sun, rain, snow, and freeze, thaw, and thunderstorms all in the same week. You may play golf one day and snowmobile the next. This March looks like it will be cold and snowy to start, and then the weather patterns will change, and temperatures are expected to rise. And go above normal as we head toward the middle of the month. At this time of year, the jet stream tends to fluctuate more. When the jet stream dips south, more Arctic air will flow into the area. The jet stream moves northward, and warm, moist air from the Gulf of Mexico will surge into the region. Areas along the Lake Erie shoreline will stay colder longer, but a strong southerly wind flow will send temperatures soaring at times. Due to conditions such as these, the warmest temperature recorded in Jamestown for March was 82 degrees on March 31st, 1998. In contrast, the coldest temperature recorded in Jamestown for March was minus 23 on March 1st, 2015. As we head towards spring, the average high temperature for the month of March will gradually increase. On March 1st, the average high temperature is 38 degrees, and by the end of the month, the average high temperature is 49 degrees. The monthly snow average is 15.3 inches. Last year, we had 22.9 inches of snow in Jamestown. This month looks to be coming in like a line with some cold and snowy conditions. The end of the month looks to be more like a lamb with warmer temperatures. One thing is certain, March 2026 will stay true to the weather whiplash which our region is known for as we transition to a new season. Aaron Mentkowski is the chief meteorologist at WKBW-TV Channel 7, where he delivers the morning weather forecast from 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. This marks his 30th year in television broadcasting and his 26th year at Channel 7. In addition to his on-air television duties, he provides daily radio weather reports for WBEN. Beyond broadcasting, Aaron is the owner of Weather in Detail, LLC, a forensic meteorology firm that prepares detailed weather reports for insurance companies and law firms involved in weather-related legal cases. In Like a Lion, Out Like a Lamb? This is by feature writer Dave Rowley, retired broadcaster from WDOE and certified observer for the National Weather Service. In my 42-year broadcasting career in Chautauqua County, I have covered several weather events. The tornadoes that hit Westfield and Fredonia in November 2012 were the latest on record since 1950. I even found myself in a twister that had touched down in downtown Fredonia during the Farm Festival in August of 2004. But for some reason, it seems some of the more bizarre weather happenings during the month of March. First, let me provide my connection to meteorology. It's been my hobby since childhood when I grew up on a farm in Laona. My grandfather told stories about some of the storms that would hit during his farming years, and my father's connection with weather was through flying. He soloed at the age of 16 and held a private pilot's license until the 1970s. Then there was my grandmother, who was a longtime teacher but was scared to death of lightning. It took a patient father who managed to keep my younger brother Jim and I from becoming petrified of storms. For me, when I think of March weather, the blizzard of 1993 comes to mind because the storm that hit much of the eastern third of the nation affected my own life. It was the year my wife Cheryl and I moved to Cassadaga, and that move was delayed by a couple of weeks due to the storm that some experts had dubbed the storm of the century. I recalled the blizzard that dumped over 2 feet of snow across much of the county, and we had to wait until a lot of that snow melted so we could move. Other memories of March stem from the extreme weather that can occur during the month, including sub-zero cold and gusty winds. Naturally, my work required me to get up early in the morning to prepare for news broadcasts, and I drove through all kinds of weather to get to the radio stations, which were located 10 miles away. One March morning in 2018, I had to dig through 16 inches of snow just to get to my car. The following March, we had low temperatures well below zero, making the car difficult to start. In March of 2020, there were wind gusts over 40 miles an hour, although it was a balmy 74 degrees. Why does it seem that some of the wildest weather in Chautauqua occurs during the month of March? It's largely due to fast-moving frontal systems and pressure differences. This is because March is a month of seasonal transition and as the sun advances north of the equator, while Arctic air may persist across Canada into early spring, setting the stage for some wild weather events. While it's difficult to predict how March 2026 will turn out, to steal from an old weather saying, let's hope that it will wind up being more like a lamb than a lion. David Rowley dedicated 40 years to broadcasting in western New York, becoming a trusted voice across Chautauqua County and beyond. As news director at WDOE 1410 AM and 101.5 FM in Dunkirk for more than 3 decades, and previously as broadcaster at WKSN, WHUG in Jamestown, and WBUZ in Fredonia, David built a reputation for steady leadership, community focus, and journalistic integrity. A lifelong resident of the area, now calling Cassadaga home, he has also served his community through numerous leadership roles, including Cassadaga Village Board, the Cassadaga Lakes Association, the Village Planning Board, and the Northern Chautauqua Community Foundation. Officially recognized as a weather expert by the National Weather Service through his work at Volunteer Cooperative Weather Observer, David has long provided reliable insight during Western New York's ever-changing seasons. He retired in 2023, leaving behind a legacy of service, dedication, and connection to the communities he so fully served. Here is a calendar of events this week around town. On Thursday, March 5th through the 7th, at 7 p.m. to 10 p.m., a craft and sip group, Labyrinth Prints Company, Jamestown. For information, call Labyrinth Prints Company or their Facebook page. On Friday, March 6th, from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m., First Friday Jambo Tanzania with Scott Stolson, Audubon Community Nature Center, Jamestown. On Friday, March 6th and Saturday, March 7th at 7 p.m., Once Upon a More Time musical at the BCS Auditorium, Brockton Middle High School. Friday, March 6th through Sunday, March 8th, Hunt a Killer Murder Mystery at the Chautauqua Harbor Hotel in Celeron. On Saturday, March 7th from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., the Audubon Photography Club meets at the Audubon Community Nature Center in Jamestown. On Saturday, March 7th at 7 p.m., the Simon and Garfunkel Story, Redlina Center for the Arts, Jamestown. Sunday, March 8th at 10:30 a.m., Lauren Turner, the Lords of Technology at the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Jamestown. On Sunday, March 8th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., a sing-along brunch at the Bemis Point Golf Club and Tap House, Bemis Point. Continuing the In Like a Lion, Out Like a Lamb theme, this editorial for March is by publisher Lori Cornell. In Like a Lion, Out Like a Lamb? We sure hope. Just in time for Easter, Western New York collectively has its fingers crossed. In the meantime, we're going to nerd out with Maniac March and learn a little something about this meteorological wonder of Western New York. It's the month where one day we have a snowstorm and the next it may be 60 and sunny. It's the month in which we typically have some of the greatest topsy-turvy weather fluctuations in all of the calendar year. Sometimes those changes occur all in the same day. We experience the chilling cold of morning and the sweltering sun in the afternoon. It's also the month that we at the Chautauqua Gazette will present such an exciting weekly lineup that you won't even notice the mud this season. Get ready to celebrate High School Musical Season, March 9th edition, St. Patrick's Day, March 16th edition, and the Women's History Month, March 23rd edition. As a woman-owned business, we are particularly excited for the latter. If you are a woman business owner, please contact us today. We want to include you in our special feature highlighting your incredible talents and commitment to our community as part of the upcoming Women's History Month celebration. But for now, hang tight. Spring will come. As you watch the roller coaster of temperatures and conditions, enjoy this edition and talk about the weather. Continuing the March theme, this is Chasing Storms by Mitch Bellinger, the founder, lead storm chaser, Western New York Storm Chasers. Welcome to March, which is historically known as weather battleground between winter trying to hang on and spring trying to work its way in. Meteorological spring arrives on March 1st, while the first day of astronomical spring will arrive on March 20th. After a cold and at times snowy winter, most of us are hoping that spring makes a quick and long-lasting appearance. The cold winter we had, which allowed Lake Erie to reach 96% ice coverage at its peak, combined with colder Canadian air that has, for the most part, kept the Northeast colder than usual this winter. This may influence the delay of warmer temperature from truly setting in until April. For Western New York, after an average start to the month, temperature-wise, the NOAA Climate Prediction Center anticipates well above average temperatures by the middle of the month, the 6th through the 12th. If we use climatology data for Buffalo, New York, the average temperature is 37 degrees Fahrenheit at the beginning of March and 48 degrees Fahrenheit at the end of March. While we have typically seen some truly cold and snowy blasts in Marches past, these cold snaps are usually brief and followed by warmer weather, and are then followed by more brief cold snap as the battle of winter versus spring begins to fully take shape. This March may be no different, with the potential for spring-like weather in the middle of the month, and if history has anything to say, another cool down for latter half of the month. What does this mean for precipitation and snow? The warmer weather presents more opportunities for rain and possibly thunderstorms, while the colder weather presents more opportunities for snow. However, any cold snaps will likely be short-lived and on the lower side accumulation-wise. This is due to the higher sun angle of March, limiting overall accumulations on pavement as ground temperatures begin to warm. As March rolls on, the odds of big winter storms begin to dwindle, but aren't completely out of the question. We have seen late winter storms before. The moral of the story is this: while March could very well tease us with spring-like weather, we wouldn't let our guard down on winter and pack away all the winter supplies just yet. While big winter storms are likely behind us, Mother Nature just might throw us a few more minor snowfall events. To keep up to date on all things weather and storm chasing across western New York and northwestern Pennsylvania, follow Western New York Storm Chasers on Facebook and YouTube. You can also visit us at westernnewyorkstormchasers.com, where you can learn more about who we are and what we do. Western New York Storm Chasers, Mitch Bellinger, founder and lead chaser; Andrew Stevenson, chief weather forecaster. The Simon & Garfunkel story is to be performed at Reg Lena Center for the Arts on March 7th. The internationally acclaimed hit theater show The Simon & Garfunkel Story returns to the road this year with a North American tour to nearly 60 U.S. cities. Stopping at Reg Lena Center for the Arts for one performance only, Saturday, March 7th at 7 p.m., the immersive concert-style tribute show, complete with nostalgia-inducing, unforgettable hits, will recreate the magic and authenticity of Paul Simon and Art Garfunkel live on stage, and chronicles the amazing journey of the iconic Grammy Award-winning act. In a 2024 performance in Long Island, Art Garfunkel himself rushed the stage, grabbed the microphone, and declared, "What a great show," before leaving the audience in awe once again. Simon & Garfunkel's story covers the duo's humble beginnings as Tom and Jerry to their incredible success as one of the best-selling music groups of all time. The 60s, as well as the dramatic split in 1970. The Simon & Garfunkel story culminates with the pair's famous The Concert in Central Park reunion in 1981, which has more than 500,000 fans in attendance. The show features a set list of nearly 30 songs. The Simon & Garfunkel story culminates with the pair's famous Concert in Central Park reunion in 1981, which had more than 500,000 fans in attendance. The show features a set list of nearly 30 songs and uses state-of-the-art video projection, photos, and original film footage. A full live band will perform all of the hits, including Mrs. Robinson, Cecilia, Bridge Over Troubled Water, Homeward Bound, and many more, complete with the unmistakable perfect harmonies that will transport audiences down memory lane. With more than 100 million album sales since 1965, Simon and Garfunkel's unforgettable songs and poetic lyrics poignantly captured the times, made them one of the most successful folk rock duos of all time. Over the years, they won 10 Grammy Awards and were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1990. In 1977, the Brit Awards honored their Bridge Over Troubled Water album with Best International Album. In 2003, Simon and Garfunkel were awarded a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award, and the following year saw their Sound of Silence awarded a Grammy Hall of Fame Award. The Simon and Garfunkel story is sponsored by both the Southern Tier Brewing Company and Wells Fargo Advisors. Tickets for this event are on sale now. The Reg Lena Center for the Arts box office is open Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. and 1 hour before the movies and events. Tickets may also be purchased by calling 716-484-7070 or at reglena.com. The Reg Lena Center for the Arts is located at 116 East 3rd Street in Jamestown. The Reg Lena Center for the Arts programs are made possible by the New York State Council of the Arts with the support of the Office of the Governor and the New York State Legislature. The National Parks Art Show opens at the Darwin R. Barker Library. This is contributed by the Chautauqua Gazette Library System. Fredonia's Darwin R. Barker Library is excited to announce that its next local art exhibition, Visions of the National Parks and Beyond 2, a local encore to a show originally installed at the Crary Art Gallery in Warren, PA last summer. This exhibition takes viewers on a quintessential American journey, an expedition of discovery, wonder, and contemplation of our treasured and varied national parks. The artworks here capture both the grandeur and quiet beauty of our national parks and monuments, from the nature-sculpted landscapes of Utah to the animals of Yellowstone and the rugged ice-capped peaks of the Grand Tetons, back to iconic parks in the east like Acadia and Gettysburg National Battlefield. More than mere celebrations of nature, these parks in the east are like Acadia and Gettysburg, are works, they're personal testaments by artists who were moved by the richness of the places kept naturally intact as national parks preserved for the benefit of the entire country. Throughout our history, the parks have been under threat from industry and tourism, and the exhibition shows some of the vibrancy, vitality, and beauty that would be lost if these lands were surrendered to commercial interests. As Senator and Father of Earth Day, Gaylord Nelson reminds us, the wealth of the nation is its air, water, soil, forests, minerals, rivers, lakes, oceans, scenic beauty, wildlife habitats, and biodiversity. Nelson's sentiment is even more critical today, as these works invite you to behold our vast American riches, our national parks. This exhibition features more than 20 works by 6 acclaimed regional artists: Thomas Anir, Wendy Bale, Angela Cayley, James Hoggard, Tom Jonick, and Thomas Paquette. Working in a rich variety of media and sizes, the artists engage the splendor of the parks through black and white and color photography, paintings in oil, gouache, acrylic, and mixed media, and cut paper pieces. The library will host an opening reception on Wednesday, March 4th, tomorrow, from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Enjoy refreshments and talk with the artists. Visions of the National Parks and Beyond 2 can also be viewed during regular library hours from March 4th to May 2nd at the Darwin R. Barker Library, located at 7 Day Street in Fredonia, New York. County Executive Wendell advocates for Chautauqua County priorities in Washington, D.C. The National Association of Counties Legislative Conference draws nearly 2,000 county leaders, contributed by Paul Wendell Jr., Chautauqua County Executive. Chautauqua County Executive P.J. Wendell joined nearly 2,000 county leaders from across the country for the 2026 Legislative Conference hosted by the National Association of Counties, February 21st through the 24th in Washington, D.C. Wendell, who serves on the board of directors, represented Chautauqua County on the national stage, advocating for local priorities and strengthening intergovernmental partnerships that directly impact residents at home. You are listening to a reading of articles and features from the Chautauqua Gazette on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. Over 2 general sessions, attendees heard from senior administration officials and members of Congress while shaping NACO's federal policy agenda. Conference discussions addressed critical issues impacting counties, including surface transportation, federal disaster policy, housing and permitting reform, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, energy, workforce development, and mental health services. Serving on the NACO Board of Directors gives Chautauqua County a seat at the table in national conversations, said Wendell. While I routinely connect with Nick Langworthy and Senator Schumer on federal matters, there is tremendous value in traveling to our nation's capital and speaking face-to-face with federal leaders and agency officials. These conversations ensure rural counties like ours are heard. Throughout the conference, Wendell participated in briefings and meetings focused on federal infrastructure funding, rural broadband expansion, mental health services, workforce development, and transportation programs that support local municipalities. He emphasized the importance of maintaining and strengthening federal partnerships that help counties address aging infrastructure, economic development, and health challenges. Conference speakers included Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Lee Zeldin, Tom Emmer, Sam Graves, Glenn Thompson, Andrea Salinas, and Bruce Westerman, reinforced how federal decisions in health, transportation, agriculture, and natural resources and environmental policy direct impact counties like Chautauqua. Federal decisions have direct impacts on our towns, villages, and cities, Wendell added. From road and bridge funding to disaster relief and mental health resources, we must continue advocating for policies that recognize the unique needs of rural communities like Chautauqua County. I'm proud to bring our local perspective to the national level and to bring back information and partnerships that help move us forward. The conference culminated in an advocacy day of action where Wendell joined county leaders in meetings with members of Congress and federal agency representatives to reinforce county priorities and discuss legislative opportunities that benefit local governments. As a member of the NACO Board of Directors, Wendell continues to help shape national policy positions that reflect the needs of counties across America while ensuring Chautauqua County remains actively engaged in federal policy-making discussions. The National Association of Counties strengthens America's counties, including nearly 40,000 county elected officials and 3.6 million county employees. Founded in 1935, NACO unites county officials to advocate for county government priorities in federal policy making, promote exemplary county policies and practices, and nurture leadership.
Good morning. Welcome to another broadcast day in the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service, a private not-for-profit